man?
Hey, dude. Friday.
What?
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So I was hoping today, for the people out there, maybe we could talk a little bit about cameras and cloud storage. I know it's kind of a hot button issue, hot button topic these days. And I know a lot of people are thinking about it, and maybe you can tell us, is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? How does it compare to kind of like storing things on NVR?
Yeah, so video storage is really, there's a lot of data there. So people talk in gigabytes, the abbreviation is GB, or they talk in terabytes. And in video, usually talking TB.
Yep.
Usually talking terabytes. So for a 32-channel NVR, so you have 32 cameras roughly, and you want to store that for 30 days, that video, it's going to be about 20 terabytes. That's where you're going to fall.
Okay.
In the cloud, they charge you a monthly fee on how much data you have up there. But 1 gigabyte or 1 terabyte has 1,000 gigabytes in it.
Okay.
So if you were to go to the cloud, or you put all your video storage in the cloud, and they were charging you 20 cents per gigabyte, you're looking at $400 a month for 1 NVR, which is extreme. And the worst part about it is most of that video is like the trees blowing in the wind.
Oh wow! So $400 a month just to store your data.
Yeah, just to have
the video.
Yeah. Granted, the pros is that it's not on-prem. It's not. You don't have to maintain that kind of cooling costs, or if the drive fails, you don't need to replace it. So there are pros to having it, in the cloud, but the cost is just so expensive.
Right.
And when you're not really even looking at most of that data, you can see most of the day it's kind of blank video. Not blank video, but it's just recording, nothing going on. There are ways to optimize it. You can reduce frame rates. You can maybe change certain aspects of your recording, the way you record, or how much video you record. But at the end of the day, it's still really expensive to get up.
Yeah, that sounds crazy expensive. And so the NVR, so say like a 32-channel NVR, what's going to be the average cost of that?
Oh, gosh. I would say to an end user, that's going to fall somewhere around maybe $5,000. Maybe a little higher.
Okay.
So that is a pretty big cost.
Right.
But when you're looking at it from the storage side, it's definitely a little bit up there.
I mean, it's going to cost almost more than $4,000 just to hold it on the cloud for the first year.
For a year. So after about a year and a half, you probably are going to.
And how long will a typical NVR last?
That can be. I mean, we see some
average,
systems that are they're out there for 7-8 years. I would say typically within technology, you got about a 5-year window.
Okay.
Especially for things that are recording and consuming data all the time. For instance, with video, the data is recorded and then it goes back over. So it's I want to say first in, FIFO? First in, first out. So if it just kind of keeps going back over those hard drives, and at a certain point, those hard drives are going to burn out.
Okay.
Just because there's so much data going through there.
So,
but I would say about 4 to 5 years.
All right. So typical life of an NVR, call it 4 years.
Sure.
Or call it 5 years. That'll make it better. That's $1,000 a year.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're storing it on the cloud, it's upwards of $5,000 per year.
Yeah, just about maybe a little more. So there's another issue with this as well, is that storage is one thing, but downloading is another. And so it actually costs money to download images and download clips from the cloud. So that's going to be a little higher rate. Granted, you're not downloading all 20 terabytes, but if you do want to download video, you're going to get charged for it as well.
So you're going to pay $5,000 a year to store it, and then you're going to need to pay an additional amount of money to take it, to download it. All right, so
I mean, granted, these numbers, I'm sure they vary between vendors and different cloud providers and whatnot.
Right.
This is kind of based on the classic Microsoft Azure cloud or a Google cloud or something of the sort. So those numbers might have some variability, but at the end of the day, you're paying this monthly fee that can be expensive.
Right.
So it's kind of a tricky predicament.
All right. Well, thanks for clearing that up, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it. What should
give us a
these
call?
people do?
Hit us up, 760 right there.